Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to the Patchwork scenario for the Railway Empire Germany DLC here on the PS4. You can see the first of our freight trains from Cologne to Saarbrücken is leaving the station on its way with a load of sausage. We've also got a load of wood coming in, so we should hopefully get a nice promotion of growth here in Cologne, which we really do need. We're going to move straight across to Essen here as well. So let's put a station in our newly acquired territory around here. Once again, I'm going to go with a station with signalling control. Like so. And we will also run down here to Gütersloh as well, but we can't connect there yet until we get Essen up and running. So, let's go ahead and plonk in our connection here. We've got a big chasm to cross, so again, to cut down on expenses, we're going to try and straighten that bridge to a shorter sort of apex, watching the gradients a bit as well. If I push this out a bit like this, can I then reduce it this way? Not too bad. Obviously the gradient here is now way out of control. That needs to come up a bit. Drop that down a touch. Oh, that goes to 3% change there. Might be easier for us to just kind of go with a slightly higher gradient. What if I take that one out completely? 2%, 2%, 2%. Yeah, that'll do. It's not too expensive as well at that price. And Essen is a pastry manufacturer as well, which is really helpful for us in terms of getting pastries into Cologne. The nearest grain is down here. I think Essen was pastry, wasn't it? Yes, it is. So Essen will change to something else. We've got 2 grain supplies nearby. Hanover also is a pastry, so it makes sense for that to change to be something else. Going forward, we're going to need a grain supply coming in. And now, this really does change how we can move goods around with our other cities as well. We've been running grain all the way over from the left there, from Halbach Hollow, all the way over here to Kassel. Now we have access to this territory. We can run grain straight in on this side. We can also connect Kassel to Gütersloh that way as well, which is something I'm keen to do. So once again, I'm going to find myself another station with signal control. We're going to have a little bit of a tunnel we're going to have to build through here, but it'll be worth it going forward. I'm just trying to figure out which way I want my sidings to go. I mean, it's all going to get expanded going forward, but for now I think we'll do it like that. What's the existing planning? Oh yes, it was the second line. Yeah, let's drop that in. Now we're almost out of cash. How much is this going to set me back? Quite a bit. And so we can again reduce the length of the tunnel by finding a shallower angle. It'll mean a longer track, but hopefully a cheaper track. I want to try and come through here straight if I can. These points are becoming a bit frustrating. There we go. So I've got the straight line that I was looking for. Now I can start to reposition the line over here, change the gradient. So we have to drop that down a bit. There we go. 2% is fine. That's all good through there. A bit of a turn. 1% gradient, 3% gradient. What if I drop that down there? Oh, that makes it bad. That's better. So 376 is a bit pricey. If I go there, pushes the gradient up a touch. We can cope with a slight increase in gradient through there, I think. There we go. 356, that drops that there. If I drop that 2%, I have a little bit of a bridge. I don't want the bridge, because then I can't run 4 tracks through there, although we shouldn't really need to run 4 tracks through there. I'll drop it down just to be on the safe side. There we go. So we need 356,000 for that connection there. I've got a little nice connection bonus there. I'm going to take advantage of that. Oh, now I need the planning. I'm going to have to scrub that, but it's worth it to get the cash to pretty much instantly make my connection. So, build the connection, take the track back out, take the station back out, and now I've got the cash to actually build the line through here that I needed to build. And we can start shipping goods between these two cities immediately. So I've got to do all this kind of faffing around with the tunnel again, unfortunately. To try and get this to straighten out the way I want it. I think we've inadvertently found something that's slightly cheaper. We have. There we go. I can live with that. What about if I just push that up a touch? That's when we start to get the bridge. I can tweak this. I can keep those lower gradients and get rid of the bridge entirely. Excellent stuff. Yes, happy with that. Let's go ahead and make that. Second line's going to cost me a little bit more than I've got, but not much. There we go. Put that in. Let's get that signalled and put a supply tower on there as well. And we can immediately start shifting goods back and forth between these two. I might now keep that as a pastry town. That might be an ideal thing for us to do. And I'm just going to focus on running freight and not passengers. Just to try and keep our lines busy. I'll also delete off those grain trains that we had running from the other direction from Halbach Hollow, because they're now an unnecessary expense. So yeah, let's let the cash run in a little bit more. There we go. Let's get a supply tower over here. Get a train running between the two. Freight train. I want a Rhine and I want a refrigerator car. There we go. Maybe I'll make Essen something different instead then. Maybe Essen becomes the brewery, because again the hops are there. So if Essen becomes a brewery, I can then ship beer to Gütersloh and to Cologne. Cologne's now growing, so that means I should now be able to expand Cologne. What was Saarbrücken? Have they grown yet? No, they're still... How are they not growing yet? Well, the meat hasn't arrived yet. Okay, let's clone that train. There it is. Once the meat arrives, that will promote growth in Saarbrücken. Cologne's already growing, Essen's growing. We've got 4 of the 6 areas we need, and we're up to 340,000 and climbing on our population, so that's starting to go up. And as each of these towns comes in, that'll really promote some healthy population growth in our territory. Going to need a small station here. I need to pull this away at a decent enough angle so I can get some distance. So I can create my connections. So the first one's going to come in here. It's going to come in before we can get a supply tower in, but that's okay because we can put a supply tower on the actual siding route itself. Gradient's a bit of a problem because we're up on a hill. We just have to live with it. It's not a particularly long run. And then what I also need to do is I need to peel off from here. Let's peel off from about here and connect up over here. So I need that to cut through there. And I also need it to cut through here. And there needs to be enough passing space for a train to stack up in there. That should be enough. It's going to be tight, but it should just about do it. There we go. And signal this. Really tight, isn't it? Just about get away with it. This side's much more comfortable. There we go. And then over here I need a crossover. Damn it. I was hoping I'd get it on the edge. I can't. I'm going to have to pull this forward. It's just eating into my space a little bit. There we go. And instead of having signals, I'm going to have a supply tower here. Like that. Actually, no, a supply tower would be better. Over here instead. Again, working on that in-out theory. Train coming in is just going to be an engine. Train going out is going to be a train carrying a full load of wagons behind it. So there needs to be space behind it to make sure that it clears this, which it should do. Might possibly even have enough space to squeeze in a set of signals just here as well. We'll try it. Can always take those out if necessary. And that should be okay. And again, a train coming in, just an engine, will then just nestle in there and will hopefully be clear of the junction in that little bit of space just there. So that should be okay. Should get away with that. I keep saying should because I don't know for definite, but I'm kind of hopeful. Actually, I want that to leave on that track. There we go. And I want one to leave here to run in there. And that on the other track. There we go. So if they ever meet at the same time, they can both go in and be loaded together. We'll get a stoker, not on that line. We'll get a stoker on here because it's such a long route. That's our first train just pulling in now. So yeah, we definitely want a speed boost on that one. Second one's only just over there. Very long route. I'm going to add another train on that line as well. There we go. Cologne is growing. Look at the fulfillment of demand here. 99%. Everything is coming in here, which is brilliant. So Cologne should hopefully grow pretty quickly. But even if it means if one of those goods falls away a little bit, at least there's growth somewhere else. And now that the meat has been delivered, you can see we are getting growth here in Saarbrücken. So I was looking at the hops and beer and their sort of industry requirements, and maybe not quite as much of a... There's no demand for beer, as you can see. There's kind of... not yet, anyway. There's a demand for the hops, but that's mainly for our business. Everything else is kind of other products that we needed to have, and they're all shipping in as well. So we are getting good growth in Saarbrücken now, which means I should, in theory, be able to expand this business now. Yes, I can. So I'll expand the business there. We've got a connection bonus for Koblenz, which is something that we do need to expand into, so that's good. I need to figure out where to connect, and that's March of next year. So we've got a little bit of time to play about with that one. Let's get our connection here up and running. And we want to really tighten this up, make it as short as we can. That'll do, without overdoing the curves. We want to keep the curves reasonably smooth and fast as well. And let's go with some signals here. And again over here as well. And auto space the rest of the routes. Put a supply tower in at each end. Here we go. Let's get a freight train moving between our two tracks, or between our two cities. They've got the same. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Essen's business, weren't we? So we'll leave that built, but we won't actually connect it yet. I want to get rid of the pastry makers here. What I do want to do, actually, if I get rid of Essen, is run pastry over to Cologne, so I can then ship meat back to Gütersloh. I haven't signalled the other side of the line yet. Let's get those in place. There we go. Good stuff. That's working the way it should do now. So let's go to route options, make sure that that's freight, and stick a Rhine on there as well. Engineer. Oh, got loads of new engineers. Look, one with a speed boost. That's a definite desire. And put a refrigerator car on there as well. Good stuff. We'll get a couple of trains running on that route. How much is it going to cost me to get rid of the building here? 430 at the moment. Productivity is at 71. If I can get that on a downslide slightly. 444. 372. And got it down to 336 by the time I actually started the bid. Okay, so we own that business. Let's slow time down again. We'll demolish that. And then we're going to be wanting to put in a brewery, which is going to set me back, how much? 360. So it shouldn't take very long to get that amount of money. We've got 2 more engineer applicants. We'll hire both of those. Where are our freight trains on here? There's one of them. There's the other one. And there's the other one. They're not coming back with anything at the moment, which is a little frustrating. We'll improve their maintenance requirements. Are we just not producing beer fast enough, or is it all getting shipped out somewhere else? There's no demand, apparently. Why is there no demand for beer in Cologne? Where's it coming from? Oh, they just don't have a high enough population yet. Okay, so we're building for the future. We'll leave those trains running, because at the very least, they're shipping the meat out, which is needed. And then going forward, they'll then start transporting beer back. Not quite enough yet, only 360. The money is flooding in, thanks to all of our business interests. Got our first train arriving here in Gütersloh, I think. That's from our grain supplies. The meat hasn't arrived yet, I don't think. Oh, there isn't any meat coming from there, is there? What would they be? Oh, no, there is meat. Is it just not enough meat being shipped out? No, we need to increase the sausage making facility. Well, we're going to get meat brought over from Cologne, so we'll have 2 venues that can provide the meat. That's not too bad. Let's get the brewery up and running. And now we need to get the goods coming in. Go. And we'll come off underneath. This is what I usually like to do when I just put a single track station and just come off underneath, so that if we expand the station, I just need to take out that point and just connect straight across into the lower platform. Just haven't always done that. Sometimes I don't remember to do that, and I end up putting in tracks that are a little bit tricky to then try to mess around with, as you saw earlier in the last episode when we were sorting out our sort of track mess over here, where we had platforms on the wrong side and they weren't matching up. Now we need to signal this line. There we go. Put our spacers in all the way along. Good stuff. I don't have the money for a supply tower. Now I do. We'll drop that in. Just there. Get a train up and running. There we go. We'll just go with 1 for now. That'll be enough. Do I have grain going out there yet? No, I don't. Let's get grain going over there, because it'll be needed as a base commodity. And I'll stick an engineer on that one there. I do need to start getting in some maintenance sheds in some of these stops as well. There we go, it's that one. And I need one here in Essen as well. Gee, did I have one here? Cologne's probably a bit more important. Yeah, we'll do Cologne next. You can see there we're getting bad condition breakdowns already. This is more of an urgency. There we go. And then Essen next. There we go. Just managed to raise the cash in time to bid on that auction. There we go. And we'll put our maintenance building in. A new surveyor. Good for tunnels. Not really a major issue for us, seeing as we've already got a reduction in tunnel costs, and we've built most of the tunnels we're going to need to build for a while. Plus, does not get on well with our station master. This is a much better one, for us. So we'll ignore that applicant there. We've got a promoter. And that promoter is something we definitely need, because we can use that to boost population in one of our flagging towns a little bit. See, they've got a demand for beer, but it doesn't seem to be getting shipped in, unless that's it there. Yeah, there we go, we've got beer coming in there. So that's going to help promote Worms. When we get Worms up to 60,000, we can drop in a museum to keep their productivity boosted a little bit. That'll help us. Saarbrücken is now up to 25,000, well, 24,000 people. Cologne up to 26,000. Essen, we haven't really done anything with Essen just yet, apart from get the brewery up and running, so not surprising there. Frankfurt is still hanging around at around 55%, that's not too bad. 108,000 people in there. Gütersloh, again, we haven't really done anything with Gütersloh yet, we're still waiting on products to be delivered. Thorn is way out of our territory. Ignore that. We do need to get Koblenz up and running at some point. Another bad condition breakdown. That's coming from Halbach Hollow. Ah. Yeah, this is one of the trains that we can get rid of. Possibly. What is it picking up? So it's going out to Kassel. No, it's taking grain from Halbach Hollow to Kassel, and then it's going to Worms. Weimar, isn't that? Oh, we're about to buy Weimar. Yeah, we'll take that. We're about to connect to Weimar. Get that cheap while we can. Let me re-inspect this line again. So, to figure out where this train's going. So the train starts in Halbach Hollow, goes all the way out to Kassel to deliver grain, then comes all the way back from Kassel to Worms. Okay, so let's just do that. Take the grain connection out of the situation. It's now reset the train, so you can see it's going all the way back to Worms before it can carry on again. Nothing going on those trains at the moment. That'll kick in. Why are they not delivering meat? Because I've already got meat. Okay, so I need wood and I need potatoes to go in there. Either one of those two to promote more growth. I've got wood over here. Again, it's a long run, isn't it? I've got wood over there, which is also a bit of a long run, but not quite as far. And it's out of our territory as well, for that matter. So, okay, we'll ignore that. Let's get a wood train all the way over there. It's a long run, but a necessary run. Getting some nice money. What was I going to expand? The meat industry here I was going to expand, wasn't it? It's not getting the supply to keep up with demand. Might have to leave it as is and just focus on our meat supply over here. Let's buy the sausage makers. And expand that. There we go. That'll help. Cologne's going to get a nice little boost. We have some points to spend. Let's unlock. Oh, hello. Is that freight? Yes. Oh, perfect. That's going to give us a nice boost to our income. 8% per freight car. We are shipping a ton of freight, so that's a huge boost. Got my maintenance shed there. Yeah, put it in there. Gütersloh is now getting some growth. Essen needs wood, potatoes, and meat. Okay, well the meat... That's good to slow to Cologne. Do I have a freight train running between these two cities? No, I don't. Okay, well, let's get one up and running. There we go. I'll get the meat going in. What was I going to do? I was going to do something and it's just gone out of my head completely. I have absolutely no idea what I was about to do. Complete and utter brain fart. None of my businesses are getting the supplies they need, look. We're still getting choked with trains. I think it's time for us to get rid of our passenger trains. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to do that. I mean, they're a good little source of income. I need to sort this out, though. They're just getting too many trains stacking up, and it's stopping stuff from getting into the station. I want to know, can I actually connect onto this bit? No, I can't. I need an extra station, but all my businesses are blocking. I'd have to delete the businesses out and then rebuild them on the other side of the track, or take the whole station out. That might be easier, actually. Just take the station out and rebuild it. It's going to reset a lot of the trains back to their starting point, but it shouldn't break the lines. Castle's just become a little bit unmanageable in its current state. Oh, yeah, I've got distillery there as well, so I couldn't even rebuild the station further up there because I'd have the distillery in the way. Something's going to have to come out. So I've got my sausage makers just there, and my food industry just there. Both of those would need to come out and be relocated. Yeah, let's do that. So, they need to be on this side over here. So I need my food makers. Let's stick that up here. And then my sausage makers. Tear that down. Put that back in. Over here. There we go. Now, I should be able to get another station in here. Yes, there we go. Let's go with a large station with signal control, because we're going to have a lot of trains coming in and out of here. Plus it gives me the ability to potentially carry on services going out that way as well. Castle's becoming kind of like a split point for us. I'm just trying to get this to sit reasonably straight. This is why I wish, I keep going on about this, you know, every time I do one of these series, I wish we had fine rotation control. That's close enough. So what I need to do now, this is going to cause lines to break because I'm redirecting them to a completely separate station. But I need to take these lines out. It's going to cause a lot of my trains to stagger and reset. Actually, I need the line to come back from about here. So they'll go back to their destination point, and then I'm going to have a couple of trains that are going to be stranded at the wrong station. But I want these to come in here, like this. There we go. So all the trains on this line are probably going to need to be completely reset. This also gives me the ability to run a train out to Weimar, bring Weimar into the fold a little bit. And then these trains here from the Nordman estate, I'm going to focus those over here. I need 22 grand. I don't have the money yet. So you can see here, all these trains now braking. Castle 1 cannot be reached because they can't reach the first of the castle stations. They can reach Castle 2. I've got to find all the other trains on this line. There's one. That one's running. That one's going to Castle 1, so that needs to go to Castle 2. This train is obviously in conflict. There we go. Next up, that's going to Castle 2. I think. Yes, that's going to Castle 2. Any other trains back here? No, they're both going to the right station, I believe. Yes. Now I need to check all the trains on this line. Go to Castle 2, Castle 2, Castle 2, Castle 2, Castle 2. So we've lost a salt train and we've lost 3 of our pig trains as well. They've just disappeared and they've started causing problems along the line. I've got to find those trains. They're all waiting for Castle 1 to Frankfurt. Well, let's at least put this connection in. Change that one for Castle 2. This is getting messy, but it needs to be done. That train is now going to turn around at some point, go straight back out, and I'm going to redirect it in this way. These are all stacking up. They're all waiting for a particular train. What train is this? Why can't that go? What happened to my signals? Okay, so the conflict has now moved over here. Ah, there we go. Whatever the problem was, it seems to have sorted itself out now that we've got movement on our lines. I've got a couple of trains that seem to have gone missing. I'm not sure where they are. But as soon as we find them, we'll just delete them out. They might have actually gone around the loop all the way around there to try and get back to where they were. Let me just click on there and see if that's where some of them are. Herman Forest to Gütersloh. No, those are all correct trains on there. They're all fine. Yeah, I've got some missing trains. I don't know where they've disappeared to. Oh wait, no, they're all back. There we go. Ah, nah, see, there. That one's, now we've got this connection in, that one's got a bit lost, so that one definitely needs to be changed to Castle 2. Let's start at the top of the list again. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's Castle 1. So the Becker drill hole trains should all be fine now. Yes. 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 Okay, so let's check out the pig trains. You see again, that one there going to the wrong station. That one's now sorted. Next Varus mine is fine. And the next one is fine. That's fine. I hate the way it keeps rotating the trains like this. I think the easiest thing to do is just going to be to actually just click on each train individually. Okay, that one's alright. That train there is my Nordham Estate. What train's this one? Okay, that's alright. That should speed up movement through here a lot better. Speed up movement through here a lot better once the pigs start rolling in again. The random breakdown here. It's going to Castle 2. It's going to Castle 2. Castle 2. Castle 2. And that's one of my drill hole trains. Okay, so the trains are all fine again now. They're all routing where they're supposed to. You know, we've redirected our spud trains. Both of them going to Castle 2. So that's that done, and we should now get a much easier flow of traffic through here. It means what I can even do is our trains here. We've got some still running on that line there. We've got some of them still running on the express line. We could theoretically clear up the express line again now. I'm not going to for now, but it should allow a lot more movement of traffic through here. Especially if I want to get an extra one of these fruit trains in, which I do. And let me go back to upgrading my businesses again. Food industry definitely needs to expand. Sausage makers definitely needs to expand. Push that all the way up, and now I'm really going to overload this line with lots and lots of pig trains. Make sure that I've got enough demand or enough pigs over here to supply that. Looking pretty good at the moment. I can make up to 38, 5.5 a week. Should be enough. Just check our points. I'm going to unlock the Class F. Engineer, stoker, security guard. Yeah, we'll hire all of those. Stoker. Big speed boost there. Why not? And the security guard does not get on with the engineer. Of course he doesn't. Let's take the engineer off. and put him on a different train. But one that's on this line here. That one there. There we go. If they're going to be running on the same line as the express trains, we want to speed them up a little bit. Got to break down bad condition. Okay, we need to put maintenance shed in there. And I think that's starting to come good. We're running out of time to get these final tasks done, but we're over 400,000 people now. Next time out, we're going to go back to trying to expand our towns that we've got. We're going to also start looking at the next territory to expand into. We need 2 more of those. Don't necessarily have to connect into them, but we at least need to own them. So a lot more money is still required. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more of the Patchwork scenario for the Railway Empire Germany DLC here on PS4 very soon.